Your disciplinary style may not be teaching your children the lessons you think it is. I know this is a big one, but let's unpack this. Let's take yelling, for example. We often think that yelling is teaching our children that our message is really important. We think that yelling causes them to obey very quickly, and we think that it teaches them how to respect authority. But what it's actually doing is making them less receptive to our message. It's teaching them that anger and aggression are the appropriate ways to get what you want from other people. It creates an unhealthy fear of us and other people. It creates a lot of insecurity, and especially whenever it's partnered with put downs, it can actually lead to lower self-esteem and more aggression. What about spanking? We think it's teaching our children to learn valuable lessons, that it discourages them from repeating those bad behaviors, and that it teaches them that there are consequences to their poor choices. But what it's actually teaching our children is that it's totally okay to show aggression and use physical force to solve problems. It increases a child's likelihood to suffer with anxiety and depression, and it's been linked to alcohol and drug abuse. A 2021 Harvard study showed that spanking affects a child's brain the exact same way that severe physical abuse does. So if you're somebody who says, well, I always spank in love, you may not be doing to your child what you think you're doing. Now let's talk about timeouts, because a lot of parents think that this is a gentler form of discipline, but it actually has a lot of harsh side effects. What we think timeout does is causes our children to reflect on their poor choices. We think it gives them ample space to calm down effectively. And we think it will probably discourage them from repeating bad behaviors. But children actually don't have the ability to calm down on their own. That skill isn't fully developed until they're in their mid-20s. So timeouts have been shown time and time again to lead to emotional abandonment in children. It actually paralyzes their ability to learn coping skills, and it paralyzes their ability to learn calm down techniques. So what are some effective ways to discipline our children? Number one, name and validate their emotions. If you were raised traditionally, you might think that this might be coddling them or that they're manipulating us. But what it actually does is teach them emotional maturity. It develops their sensitivity and compassion to the emotions of other people. It teaches them how to properly process through their emotions. It can drastically decrease the likelihood of them developing mental health issues. It increases self-esteem and confidence, and it teaches them how to regulate their emotions. Number two is identifying and meeting the root need that's driving that behavior. You might be tempted to think, oh, this isn't going to prepare them for the harsh real world, but actually it does the opposite. It gives them the skills to self-correct in the future, increases their awareness to the needs of other people, it helps get to the root of their behavioral issues, and it provides them with the skills to communicate effectively. Number three is providing replacement behaviors. You might think that you need to be really tough on your children to prepare them for the real world, and that you need to enforce these harsh consequences, but actually, replacement behaviors provide advanced skills for self-correction. It gives them the necessary skills to do the right thing even and especially when the adult or authority figure is not around. And it allows them to learn the root lesson.